Please listen carefully.
Well, hello, universe, and welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Kristy Jansen.
And I'm Summers McKay.
And we're part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to one focus on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy podcast. Today is TGIF Friday, the 13th of November, 2020. Hi, how are you today, Kristy?
I'm fine, although I don't know if I'm hearing things properly, but you totally cut out from me. So my internet might be a bit unstable. Hopefully we'll get through today's recording without too much interruption.
Hopefully, otherwise it'll just be like a one-sided Summers monologue on the internet and crock pots and, oh, my garbage disposal broke and...
Oh, no.
I know. Yeah. The gentleman who owns our home is coming over this morning to deal with my garbage disposal. My husband attempted to fix it. I attempted to fix it. I think that it might be because of a small piece of a baby dish that went down the drain. But, you know, it is what it is. So hopefully Kristy's brilliance will also weigh into the Optimist Daily Update today because I am very, very domesticated at this moment.
Okay.
Speaking of domesticated, my dog Cleo is currently laying on the couch with her head under a pillow, but she's laying on her back, paws in the air, but head under a pillow. So I think her nosy might be cold. How's Tucker this morning?
Oh, he's all right, although he refused to come inside after our walk, so he's on the porch, and I'm hoping he doesn't start barking during this, because he might when I leave him out there sometimes. He starts to go, wait a second here. I don't want to be out here anymore.
I had in mind. Well, you know, speaking of all of these things furry, we might as well just get into our first story, Kristy. What did you want to talk about on the Optimist Daily today?
All right. Well, the one that I thought was entertaining and fun that I wanted to share. The headline reads, Purina introduces sustainable pet food made from insect protein. I know. We are always talking about alternatives to animal protein. Yesterday we talked about Pizza Hut and whatever they're using instead of pepperoni now in sausage.
Yep.
And then
I read McDonald's announced McPlant. They're going to be,
yes.
Yep, I saw that.
But meanwhile, I actually listened to yesterday's podcast and we're talking again about your stew made out of steak, which was delicious. I know. So clearly there is a place for meat and meat eating, but it is so much more costly for the environment to grow a pound of beef than it is to grow a pound of other kinds of protein lower down on the quotes food chain. Yes. One of those protein sources that's lower down on the food chain is insects. And actually, people and animals have been eating insects and insect protein. It's been part of our diets since the beginning of whenever we were apes, whatever.
Right.
This is
right.
Grubs
the case.
and
Bugs and
bugs and I mean, you've got termites and they can be very, very healthy, good, dense protein sources. It's just not something that we in the Western world have really embraced as part of our normal standard diet. That doesn't mean that it's not a great place to look for sustainable protein going forward. And insects are becoming increasingly popular as a source of sustainable protein. They're creating cricket flour that you can use in a protein bar, for example, and you don't taste anything different. And why not, if it's a protein bar, which has tons of other random stuff in it, why not use crickets, which are high protein and so much easier to create?
Kristy, have you ever eaten cricket protein?
I have tried a cricket protein bar and, I didn't like it that much, but I don't know if it was because of the cricket protein or I just didn't like the formula of it.
I'm completely open to the idea of eating bugs. I'm comfortable with it. I think I tried a cricket protein shake back when we were hosting Santa Barbara Entrepreneur, which was a regular in-person coffee meetup for entrepreneurs. One of the folks that we featured had a cricket protein company. I just think one of the challenges of this is that it isn't ubiquitous enough. And what I love about this story is that Purina is going to say, okay, we're having a little trouble getting people to adopt
Right.
crickets.
But hey, pets
Yeah.
are part of this. And actually, pets are eating more and more. We're feeding them a lot because we have more of them. As after everybody adopted all the puppies out of the shelters and the kittens. One of our other stories today is about adopting cats. And cats love to eat insects, as you know, Summers, right?
Cats eat insects for fun. So
So thanks to Purina, pets can now join in on this potential food of the future. And they are creating a Purina Beyond Nature's protein line, which will include insect protein using black soldier fly larvae. So that's maggots, everybody, as well as plant proteins from fava beans and millet. I happen to be watching Hannibal on Netflix these days. It's one of the things that our household is watching. So fava beans there. Anyway, so this is just a fun story. It's kibble. Some dogs may not like it. My dog refuses to eat his kibble unless I douse it in butter or something else. But I know some Labrador retrievers that will eat anything you put in front of them. And I think they'd probably be fine with Purina insect kibble, you know? And one of the things that's so neat about insects as a sustainable food source is that they have a very low water need and very low feed consumption compared to other traditional animal protein sources. It takes only about 1.7 kilograms of feed to produce 1 kilogram of edible insect compared to 10 kilograms of feed to produce 1 kilogram of beef. So you can see that it's only like 1.7 times more to get a pound of that insect, that high dense protein from an insect, whereas it takes 10 times more feed to get 1 edible kilogram of beef. So it's just a very different kind of intensivity. Purina is also experimenting with other foods from sustainable sources, such as invasive carp. So the kind of fish that is just grows like
a weed,
wildfire. Yeah, grows like a weed. And it is a weed, right? In terms of animal sources around the world. So anyway, I just thought this was a fun story. Go take a look at it. It's going to be launching in Switzerland this month, but it will be available online through pet food online stores in 2021 for customers in the United States.
I think this story is important for a couple of reasons. We had kind of a obnoxious troll commenting, you know, why would it matter if there's more plant-based food, or why, you know, basically saying there's no value to this. Well, let's just reiterate the value to more sustainable sources of protein are that the impact and the ability to grow them, it can help with managing food scarcity. It can reduce the impact on the environment. And then it can also help innovate in food, health, wellness, and other sort of systemic things that can make it better here on this earth. And so, yes, cricket powder and, you know, maggot meals for dogs sounds absolutely preposterous, but it is a viable solution. And that is what we do here at the Optimist Daily, is we focus on solutions. So I love that while it is a cute story about animals eating maggots, it is also a very, very smart story. So thank you for picking it, Kristy.
All right. And before my internet goes out, what's the story you wanted to focus on this morning, Summers?
All right. So Alphabet's Moonshot Factory X is the name of the company, may have a solution for you, Kristy. This project uses beams of light to expand global access to the internet. Now, believe it or not, there are more than 3 billion people in the world who still lack access to internet. Many of them in developing countries, but also some right here in the United States. You know, rough terrain in developing countries or extremely rural areas of the United States can make deploying conventional infrastructure like fiber optic cables almost impossible, otherwise difficult and highly expensive. As I mentioned, X, which is Alphabet's Moonshot Factory, is now testing an approach that overcomes these obstacles. And literally, it is using invisible beams of light to send data over long distances without cables. Currently piloted in India and Africa, the project called TARA, that's T-A-A-R-A, so TARA. The ambitious project is driven by the mission to bring fast, affordable internet access everywhere in the world, especially where it's not available. The technology is pretty simple. It's small boxes equipped with electrical communication placed at high altitudes, beaming out infrared light to another terminal as far as 12 miles away. So you need, you know, good space and strong beams, and that will deliver internet to these rural and otherwise underdeveloped communities. COVID has taught us more than ever that internet is, in fact, a utility. And I love recognizing different ways that internet is being delivered. I had a friend long ago who had a highly innovative startup at the time using old radio towers, old traditional radio towers that were left fallow after radio went digital to deliver internet to the Native American reservations here in the United States. So I love this story, and I love reminding our world that ubiquitous internet is absolutely a utility. It is like water. It is like electricity. It is something that everyone deserves and needs. So I love that Alphabet's on this.
Yeah, I think this is a very timely and important story to highlight today, Summers. And we're talking about it on a global scale, but in the United States right now, for example, we've got kids who are learning from home right now, as you know, and my son has opted to stay in a complete distance learning situation for next semester as the Santa Barbara High School district is figuring out what works for different families, right? I participate in like an online survey or a text survey every week. I get a new question and I answer it. And this week's question was, is it something that California should guarantee access to a computer and high-speed internet for all K through 12 students? Is this something you feel strongly about, you oppose strongly? You know, it's taking a survey of Californians, and I'm participating in this. Yeah. And I support strongly that this should be something that the school systems should really develop as part of our learning for the future. And if the digital divide is a real one, and it's not just about the rural and urban, but it's also about if you live in a dense urban neighborhood, a lot of times there isn't good options for you because there's only one provider and they are so expensive. And if they won't serve the communities that have lower socioeconomic profiles because they can't get enough people to sign up for their service, or if they do, it's just crappy service, right? Yeah. And so I think this is something that has to move away from being a perk and become more, like you say, a utility. It's the backbone that commerce goes on these days. It's the backbone for education. It's the backbone for business. And I think it is something that we should make more ubiquitous. And good on X for taking this on as a moonshot.
Exactly. Well, 2 solutions today, innovative in technology, both food technology, agriculture, and I love these kind of solutions. I think they're a great way to kick off the weekend. There are a lot of other fantastic stories on the Optimist Daily. And guys, if you haven't had a chance, check up on them over the weekend, right? If you didn't get to read all of your Optimist Dailies from your emails this week, by all means, hop onto optimistdaily.com, look at solutions, or go onto our Facebook page and engage in the conversation. Some of the other headlines, Kristy, we've got how a city of 2.5 million ensures everyone has free access to healthy foods.
And that's in Brazil. That's a city, Belo Horizonte.
Excellent. And then there we have a cat in a box. If it fits, I sits, says the cat. Innovative pet scheme matches over 10,000 cats with potential owners. No, I was not one of them. And no, I do not have 3 new kittens coming, but I thought about it. Wait, what else, Kristy? What else is on here?
If you're running this winter, we've got 6 tips to help keep you safe while you run through the snow and out in the cold. New York's first professional streetery builder is keeping restaurants afloat. And I'm sure in your communities, you're seeing outdoor restaurants pop up all over the place over the summer. And there's a startup that's working to make that happen and keep that happening to keep restaurants going strong.
I love the idea of streeteries.
I like
streetery.
It too. Streetery, yeah. Scientists have created a method that will turn moon dust into oxygen for all of our astronauts when they're out there. Scientists have developed 3D printing methods to replace damaged knee cartilage. That's a great one for all of those runners in the snow. And there's a campaign to save a giant fig tree in Kenya from a proposed highway that has succeeded. So this magical fig tree, which is a powerful symbol in Kenya, is now going to be able to stay, and they will build the highway around that and not remove this wonderful tree. And that is it for today's Solution Summers. Remind everybody again to, when they want to express their thankful Thursday, they can keep that going throughout the week. Write a nice letter to your favorite nonprofit this week. Take a look at that from the Optimist Daily. And enjoy your weekends, everyone.
Speaking of weekends, before we sign off, Kristy, what's coming up on The View this weekend for the Optimist Daily View?
Well, it's been such a heavy period of time that we thought it would be really important to remind people how important it is to laugh and how that is one of the best things we can all do for ourselves and for our families and for the world is to look at the lighter side of things and have a great belly laugh. It boosts our moods, it boosts our health. It's a great practice to invest in. So we're writing a view about laughing. And
All
there
right.
are links in there for people to enjoy if they want to go actually laugh their whatever off. Their heads off.
It. She's like, we're not going to beat. All right.
Thank everybody for listening to the Optimist Daily Update today. We promise to continue to share positive, solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in this changing world and ensure it's changed for the good. We promise to cover current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and keep offering you the information needed most to chart new paths for all of us.
Please, please, please consider becoming an emissary on the optimistdaily.com, and for just $5, $15, or $50 a month, if you're feeling crazy, support reader-funded independent journalism. Be part of the solution, changing consciousness and addressing our world's biggest challenges with a problem-solving mindset. Let's keep the Optimist Daily free to all who need it, supported by those who can. Have a great weekend, everybody. Oh, Kristy, I forgot to tell you, currently in the crock pot, I'm doing a Blanc coq au vin. There's chicken, butter beans, artichoke hearts, and capers.
Amazing. I think you should sprinkle some crickets on top and it'll be great to go.
Chicken and crickets. Let's do it.